Alright, I have my doubts about this. Under $400 for this thing. For comparison, that's like a third of what the German one that I use commercially cost. But nothing to it but to do it. I've never even heard of the brand before. I think you're just some random reseller. So, in case...
I've been using Blue Rock stuff for never. For years, man. Years and years. Never let me down.
So let's see what's in here. You know, what's interesting is the styling on this machine. It looks like the styling on those BDS drills that I have. They cost like 3 times as much, but a little bit different. They've got this thing. I'll stop rambling here. Alright, so I don't know what this is, but alright, yeah, I do. This is actually really cool. They give you, included with the drill, this thing, which is basically, this is the same type of shank that an annular cutter uses, and they give you a Jacobs quality chuck here. So I think we just screw that on and, yep, it's Jacobs quality. That needs some oil. Alright, so we got that. That's exciting. Let's see going on. We've got this coolant bottle, so presumably it has its own like coolant type feed system, which is actually remarkably advanced for the price. You know, it's actually funny we say this because a buddy of mine, who I'm not going to name in this video, but I know he watches them, so he might identify himself in the comments. He bought the same mag drill. I told him I was going to make this video, and I showed him this. He's like, oh man, I bought one of those, and it didn't work like right out of the box. It was this whole big deal. Where the hell are my handles? Oh, is this one? Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay, it's like, what am I supposed to hold on to? Alright, and this thing, we got our 3 handles, which is nice. Man, some of these low budget mag drills, they can be kind of questionable. I looked at one review and it said like the guy, he got 3 handles. This wasn't for this mag drill, it's for a different one in the same price range, and like one of these wasn't even threaded.
I mean, you don't need thread, just hammer it home, man.
Just hit it really hard while it's still on the tool. Alright.
That's how I do everything. That's how you do wood screws. You hammer them all the way down until there's this much left, and then you put that much turn on them. Hammer to set. See.
Yeah, so this one time I filmed a video about a saw with a carbide blade. So we were like, hey, let's cut through some boards with some screws in them. And so when we're filming this, Seth and I were like, just give me the screws. We couldn't find a screwdriver, so I'm holding this board, just like nailing screws into the top. We're like, this is woodworking with stretch. Boom, boom, boom. It actually worked. Alright. You know what? It doesn't seem that bad just off the top of my head. You got this nice wire loom thing on here, which is sort of a nice touch. It's got, of all things, this is actually kind of remarkable. It's got these greasable, tensionable gibs up here where this dovetail slide is. So that's actually a fairly high quality feature. And we got that. It does turn smoothly. I mean, just from what I can tell from this little bit, it actually is a pretty decently cast and machined tool. I was honestly not expecting that. Okay, so also when I ordered this thing, I went and bought these annular cutters, which interestingly enough come in a pretty high quality case, and they look like nice cutters, but you know, this is going to have more to do with the type of steel that they use and the way they machine them. This isn't really something you can adequately judge all that well just from looking at it. It's interesting because these have 2 different types of teeth. So let's see, moving along here, it looks like on the front of this machine, this whole piece is one solid casting, probably some kind of like aluminum or zinc type of deal, which is actually kind of surprising. You'd think on a low budget tool like this, they just use all plastic or whatever. This chuck, basically, they call it a weld-on shank, like W-E-L-D-O-N shank. It actually has both. It has 2 little hex things on it. A lot of the nicer ones I've used, they only have 1, and it doesn't really seem to be an issue. Oh, frig, I forgot my ejector pin. I'm such a doofus. Alright, well, whatever. More excuses to try the chuck. I don't know, Steve, what do you think? Should we fire it up and see if it survives some stuff?
Wait, I want to see flames.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Alright, so let's see here. We got standard controls. There's just 2 of them. One for the Magnut, which is on, and then one for the motor.
Wobbly.
That is an incredibly shrill, irritating sounding motor. However, it actually did sound fairly smooth. The Magnut, let's see. It takes quite a bit of force to break that loose. That's actually a really good sign. Honestly, my expectations have kind of been exceeded so far, but we haven't actually drilled anything, so I should probably stop talking. Steve, you want some ear plugs?
Yeah. What?
You know it's an obnoxious sound when even Steve wants earplugs. All right, let's do this. Oh boy. All right, maiden voyage. Oh. Oh man. That's on the cutter, not the drill. There's like a solid 40 thousandths of an inch side this side. Oh man.
Your set screws aren't on the flats.
Frig. Normally I set it a little bit like wiggles. All right, this doesn't fit together like the one I'm used to running. Dude, it feels like the flats aren't even flat. I'm sure they are, but they don't settle in there. Like there's really no way to tell. All right, I think that's close-ish. All right, let's try that again. See if it stops its hula hoop madness. Nope. All right, let's just see how it feels. You know, to be brutally honest, guys, that really wasn't that bad. I will say it feels a little bit weak. The German mag drills I'm used to running, they have longer handles, but even with the longer handles, I can put like twice the downward pressure on them, and they still just keep plowing through it. This one, like hardly any, and you can feel it straining. But obviously, you know, it's not really fair to compare something that's 3 times as much to something that isn't. Here, Steve. Come try this thing out.
Doesn't work.
How was it?
It's got a little, you can tell when you're feeding it down, it's got like a little wobble to it, but it's nothing that's too bad. I mean, for the price, man, it's like if you're going to use it for industrial use it every single day, then it's probably not going to suit your needs. But for occasional use, man, even as like a backup drill, I mean, it feels pretty good.
It honestly, it does. I'm pleasantly surprised by this drill. I won't say it's obviously anywhere near as good as some of the other ones out there that obviously cost a lot more. So I mean, you know, there's not, that should sort of go without saying, but that's a couple holes. That's with the largest cutter we have. This motor isn't even warm yet. Is this warm? Yeah, this is a little warm down in here. I don't know what kind of gearing there is. I don't know how well greased it is, but there's a little heat coming out here. Honestly, not much though, not much more than ambient temperature. Let's run it through some more holes and in before, that's what he said, and see what happens.
Oh, man, you ruined my joke. It's only
guys, this is not the finest, greatest steel. This is just the same generic A36 I build most things out of around here, and not one single time has one of these slugs stuck in the cutter. That's 4 holes in a row. That's pretty good performance, I'll say. But then again, the cutter is off by like, it's either the cutter or the inside of the shank that's off, so the whole thing goes like this.
Maybe that's by design to eject them plugs.
But see, the thing is, you know, I realize these holes are kind of out around. For a lot of things you can use a mag drill for, it just doesn't matter. You know, if you got to run a bolt through there and there's a 1/16 of clearance on each side of the bolt, or it's like a pin for a tractor where there's like an 1/8 inch of clearance, who the hell cares, man?
That's not bad, man. I bared down. Like I bared down on it pretty good. I was trying to get the magnet to lift off because A lot of the older ones I've used, the problem with the magnets are the cheaper ones. The magnet is real weak. When you're bearing down on it, the whole magnet will come up, and all of a sudden when it comes up and your angular cutter is down in the hole, you'll snap that angular cutter off because you went. But it's not doing it. Pretty cool. How much this thing cost?
$387. But still, that's like one plug out of 2, 4, 6 holes. And these are some of the cheapest cutters on Amazon. You know, honestly, the way I see it, the true test for an annular cutter like this isn't really how well it works out of the box, although the indications for these are good. It's how they hold up over time. It's like drill bits, you know? Some of the cheaper ones, like really cheap hardware store grade ones, they cut great. Yeah, I try and like roll it, twist it, but that's just me. You do whatever works for you. Yeah! Yeah, like some of the really, oh man, I'm just incapable of telling people how to do the simplest things. Here, let me hold this. Yeah, some of the cheaper drill bits I've used, and I'm sure most of you guys and Steve probably the same exact way, they're great for like 5 holes and then they're just dull as a board. What is the least dicked up drill bit in the entire set? Actually, let's see how this works with larger ones. This is a 1/2 inch bit. Will that thing take a 1/2 inch bit?
Man, I don't know if it'll fit from here to here though.
Oh.
Because you've only got that much.
Ah! Yeah, it doesn't go up any higher, does it?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And that's the problem with all of, you know, any kind of mag drill. It doesn't go up high enough to put a shank in. Really.
I'm gonna get a new bit. It's not fair to this thing if we use a
dull one and
use one because we kind of hammer on the things pretty hard. And friggin' $400, man. I mean, look at this. It even has replaceable brushes, so that's at least an indicator that this isn't meant to be an ultra cheap throwaway tool. Yeah. So this is only a 3/16 bit.
It's a terrible idea.
What do I know? I can barely even read.
Careful.
Hardly even feels it. Although I will say that Chuck is already slipping, and Steve isn't really known for not properly tightening things, and then I like extra tightened it, and after half of a hole it's starting to slip again. And still there's that wobble that I was like doing one of these numbers to try and replicate. But you know what? It friggin' works. It's really not bad. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. Just a couple little things here and there, but it's got its nice touches, like probably some type of alloy thing. And even after 6 holes and then 2 smaller ones, this isn't even warm, hardly at all. And this is not that friggin' warm, man. We got replaceable gibs, we got strain relief, and we got a case with 1 functioning latch. It comes with a chain. To be honest, you guys, I had serious doubts about this thing, but this is honestly a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think I'm with Steve, though. I don't think I'd recommend this for full-on industrial use, but my 2 cents is if you're looking for something that you're only going to use so often, maybe a handful of times a year, might be something to consider. However, a caveat to that, since a buddy of mine said he bought one and didn't work right out of the box, if you do get one of these, make sure you plow it through like 20 holes right out of the box and just make sure everything works. And if it survives that, honestly, it's really not bad. What do you think, Steve?
No, I think it's good, man. I mean, on a mag drill, like the angular bit wobbling and the drill bit, I mean, it's a mag drill. You're not drilling precision holes with mag drills. Any kind of drill, but I mean, this will, you know, as far as like you need to do a bunch of holes in your shop at the house, or you're doing a little project or something, you need a mag drill. This is a great way to get into the game for, you know, $400. I mean, which don't get me wrong, $400 is a lot of money for a tool, but as far as mag drill goes, this is on the lower end of the spectrum. So it's 1/3 of what the German one I use for commercial stuff sells for, and so, it friggin' works. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's a good drill, man, and then you take care of it, and you don't just completely manhandle, leave it out in the rain or something. But no, $400, you're in the game, and you know, spending money on your other tool that you get. I would say, I see what you did there. But you know what? It friggin' works, man. I don't know. I'm still looking at this from a commercial user like myself. I'm still tempted to say spend $1,200–1,500 on the German one. But from the standpoint of someone who's not going to use this every day, for a farmer who's going to use it for like 1 or 2 repairs a year, for someone who's just getting going, it doesn't have to last them a lifetime. Maybe they get a year or 2 out of it, and then they buy something else as they grow their business and take on customers and jobs.
It's really not bad. You know, 400 bucks, I was thinking if it functioned, it would be a winner. And it's really not bad. All right, thanks for watching, guys. A big thank you to my buddy Stephen Cox for helping out with this video. If you want to check out his channel, link to that also in the description below. Kind of rambling now, don't really care, just pleasantly surprised. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Later.